I just returned from a trip to West Palm Beach, Florida, flying my Lancair 4P. The flight down was smooth, but on the way back, approaching Spruce Creek Airport, I started to get a high turbo inlet temperature reading on the right turbo. It was alarming to see it spike into the red zone and then cut off, only to come right back into the red zone. I reduced power and I used the landing gear camera to check for smoke coming out of the right exhaust. It looked normal, so I suspected something wasn't right with the temperature probe. Since I was close to the airport, I was able to land safely and continue with my troubleshooting. The first thing I did was check the temperature probes when the engine was cool. What I found was that probe on the right side either wasn't reading at all or it was pegging at a very high temperature. This led me to believe that the issue was likely a faulty temperature probe, rather than a problem with the turbo itself. I decided to order 2 new turbo inlet temperature probes for both the left and right turbos. I installed them and ran some tests to check for leaks. To be extra cautious, I placed cameras on each of the temperature probes to ensure there were no exhaust leaks. I also brought the engine up to near takeoff power just to be thorough. However, while doing these tests, I noticed something else. The exhaust gas temperature probe on cylinder number 1 was starting to act up. Even at idle, the temperature was extremely high, which didn't match what I was seeing from the cylinder head temperature. So it was pretty clear that the exhaust gas temperature probe was faulty. Ordered another exhaust gas temperature probe and replaced that for cylinder 1. Just when I thought I was in the clear, another issue popped up. While I was taxiing back, I noticed that the right fuel probe was reading 0 gallons, which I knew wasn't accurate because that tank had at least 20 gallons in it. So I had to take the wingtip off, inspect the fuel probe, and sure enough, one of the wires was rubbing against the ground of the fuel probe. I redid the connection, made sure everything was properly insulated, and put it all back together. After that, I test ran the engine again, validated the fuel probes, temperature probes, everything looked great. So now the plane was ready for its next flight. The next morning, I took the plane out for a test flight around New Smyrna Beach and everything worked normally. It's great to have the plane back in service again. Thanks again for watching. If you found this video helpful or interesting, please give it a thumbs up and safe flying, everyone.